Hello and welcome to this very special holiday edition of Sex, Brains and Money. As you can see, Bon Bon the puppy is getting so very large and much bigger, so I'm afraid that this will be her very last appearance on the show. But as you can see, she's Santa's little helper today, and she's going to help me talk about something special to me that has made the holidays a much more enjoyable experience. So I'll be honest, I hate Christmas. I've hated it since I was about 14 years old. I found that all the commercialism and all of the, shopping and all of the fighting with people for parking spaces in the malls just drove me crazy. I mean, when I was growing up, it was a little bit more special and it was something that we actually enjoyed. But once I got into my teen years, it just seemed like more of a chore than anything else. And I really didn't like having to give gifts to people in terms of buying them stuff that they were never going to use and never going to need. I swear I must have bought my dad 3 clamp lights over the years, and he never used one of them. And one year, 2 years ago, it got so bad that my brother and I actually talked to each other beforehand and agreed to put the same amount of money in an envelope for each other to exchange at the dinner table. Now, I don't know if that feels like the spirit of giving or not, but to you, but to me it definitely did not. So every year when Christmas would come around, I would just hate the prospect of having to go through all that nonsense. I'm sorry, it looks like Bon Bon is eating her antlers. I don't think she wants to be Santa's little helper very much. But anyways, last year, as Christmas was approaching and I felt my anxiety levels rising, a friend of mine, Tava Harrison from the Nature Conservancy of Canada, posted something on her Facebook account which basically encouraged people, instead of buying gifts for each other, to buy a gift of Canadian nature. And what the Nature Conservancy would do was encourage people to buy a piece of land in some sort of environmentally sensitive area in hopes of protecting the endangered species who actually live there. And I thought this was the most amazing idea ever, because I didn't have to worry about whether or not it was the right size or whether or not it was something that my dad or my mom or my brothers actually needed. It was a way for me to genuinely give something rather than worry about what was being given back. And once I realized this, I started looking at other charitable organizations that I felt were valuable and wanted to support. And I asked my family and friends, I said, instead of giving me a list of things that you want or telling me which stores you want me to buy you gift cards from, give me a list of charities that you support and I'll give you a gift in there, or I'll give them a gift in your name. And I thought it was just the most wonderful idea. I ended up spending about twice as much on Christmas as I had in previous years. And when my credit card statements came in January, I recognized that I had spent so much more, but I felt so much better for it. Now, there are a lot of neurological correlates with the feelings of giving. And it's true that you actually feel better when you give something to someone than when you just get something. So the saying, it feels better to give than to receive, is absolutely true. It releases endorphins in your brain, increases your levels of dopamine and serotonin, and it can almost be likened to having an orgasm. So anyways, this year, if you don't know what to get for somebody, I highly encourage you to either look at the Nature Conservancy of Canada or any one of your favorite charities, and instead of buying something at the mall for somebody and worrying about whether or not it's something they're going to love or not, consider buying a gift in their name with one of your favorite charities. And when you give it to them, you'll often get a little certificate or, some sort of email confirmation saying thank you very much. I promise you, it'll make you feel so much better about the holidays than you had before. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm a hopeless idealist in a lot of ways, but I genuinely hope for a day when kids go to school in January and instead of saying, "What did you get for Christmas?" they start saying, "What did you give for Christmas?" So anyways, that's my little pre-holiday rant. Hopefully it wasn't too saccharine or too, dramatic for you, but I'm just going to introduce the guests for the show. First guest is going to be a man named Christian, who is a client of sex workers, who's going to talk a little bit about what his experiences have meant to him. And if you tuned in last week, you would have seen that we had Miss Cleocatra, the escort, talking about her business. So now Christian is going to talk about things from the other side. And then afterwards, we have Helen Lee from the Living City Foundation, who also has a number of holiday-related gifts that you can give to each other while still supporting a really good cause at a local level. So we're just going to go for a 2-minute commercial break, and I'm going to let Bon Bon go because I don't think she wants to be Santa's little helper anymore. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back.